On. Go to here first. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Karl McLain. I'm a game designer for Guild Wars 2.
Hey, I'm Cronacher. I'm also a game designer for Guild Wars 2. We both focus on balance, skills, and combat, all things like that. And we're going to show you some of the cool new things coming up in the patch tomorrow.
And with that, let's get into the game. All right. Go for it.
Yeah, one of the big features we added this patch is trait facts. It's basically similar to how skill facts work, like the information you see on the skill tooltip. Before, traits only showed a description, and it was really hard to understand what the traits actually did. So we have a new system that implemented facts into the traits with a bunch of cool extra features as well. Like as you see Karl mousing over, you'll actually be able to see what the specific traits do. Also, if you go down to like Evasive Arcana or something.
Let's go over it. Let's go to Elemental Surge first.
Sure, like this.
Go.
We have double buff icons, so for example, the information can be displayed a lot clearer in this way. So you can see like fire attunements linked to burning, water attunements linked to chill, etc., things like that. Basically, trying to provide you guys the most information possible so you can understand what the traits and skills actually do.
Final Shielding has 3 attacks on it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Another small feature here is that if there is something has multiple skills on it, you're going to see like Evasive Arcana. You can right-click, and it'll show the different spells that it casts each time it procs.
Yeah, it's basically to limit the amount of information that you guys see at one time. We didn't want to show like 4 skills linked at once, so this allows you to cycle through the skills to see what each one does for each attunement. Another cool thing we added, like with Blasting Staff, when you equip a trait, it'll show on all other traits and all other skills how that trait affects them.
So you're going to see Static Field right here. It goes from a 180 to a 240. It's actually highlighted in teal.
Yeah. It's a special color on the skills and traits, so you can see that trait's visually like changing that skill that you're looking at.
Oh, and Fireball, by the way, now has an increased radius on its attack with Blasting Staff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We also did some of the new things to skills, like if you show Glyph of Storms real quick.
Glyph of Storms?
You have it equipped.
No, I don't. That's renewal.
Oh, well, that one works too.
So Glyph of Storms has it shows Firestorm, Ice Storm, Lightning Storm, and Sandstorm. And when you're in each attunement, it'll show you what spell you're going to cast. So Earth is Sandstorm, Lightning Storm. Come on now, Ice Storm, and Firestorm.
Yeah, basically, we just did a whole overhaul to the system to provide you guys with a bunch of information that you guys should have when looking at skills, so you can make informative choices when like selecting what traits you want to use, what weapons, that sort of thing, utilities, etc.
A couple cool things. You're going to see Staff now has a new change with Unsteady Ground.
Yep.
I'm going to make sure I actually get him because
yeah, basically
now he's going to actually run into this thing.
We made Unsteady Ground similar to Line of Warding, although it's a lot shorter. It's only 3 seconds. We felt like it would give Staff more utility that was lacking, and also has a pretty sweet effect, as Karl is showing you right now.
Yeah.
As you run into the wall, you can visually see it erupt, blocking the path of the golem.
It still retains a 30-second cooldown, though. So, what else is there? Oh, there we go. This guy right here. Conjure, Earth Shield, go. So now we've had some revamps to some of the Conjure skills. And right now, I'll show you there's going to be a reordering in the way that your combos actually show. You're going to now go from top to bottom. So Shield Smack is on top, Shield Smash is second, and then Crippling Shield, this is a new skill, is now the 3rd attack. So I'm going to go over here and show the full combo. And your 3rd attack is going to be the shield throw.
Oh, why don't we take a second to talk about combat floaters, since clearly they can see what's going on.
Oh, here's some bleeding. No, a stone sheath. I need something to attack me. So there's going to be new combo floaters going on here. Now, before, when you had only 1 stack, it was all right to understand. You could see that it was you had 1 stack of bleeding on you, but now and you get multiple stacks of a damage type, you're going to see that you're going to actually have all those compacted into one condition floater.
Yeah, they're all condensed so you can see your bleed as it ticks up instead of seeing a bunch of ticks. This is a UI option that you can turn on or off as you want, but it also adds the splashes behind it so you can actually see where the damage comes from. For example, the bleed, as he's showing, shows the background. Same with burning, like it shows a visual representation of where the damage is coming from. Basically, just quality of life change to make it easier for you guys to understand combat. It also applies to conditions that are applied on yourself as well. Hey, Karl, why don't you show them how to turn it on and off real quick?
All right.
In the UI.
I guess I can do that.
Yeah.
Let's go and say if you don't want to use these condition floaters, you can actually go in and click the Show Simple Condition Floaters option in the menu and go back over here. And you'll have them back.
See. Bleeding will appear as it did currently on live.
We think the new version actually looks a little bit better.
Just a little bit, but we always want to leave the option up to you guys because you could like the old version as well.
All right, let's actually go on and talk about some ground targeting stuff. We now have, actually, I'll let you go for it.
Okay, we redesigned or added another option for ground targeting. Right now you have the current option where it's normal cast, where you select a ground target skill, it'll show the reticle on the ground, and you'll have to click again to fire it off. Then we have the current instant version, which just instantly casts a ground target skill at your mouse cursor location, like Karl is showing you right now. And we just added a third option, which will basically, when you press down on the key, it'll show the reticle. Then when you lift up on the key, it'll cast. So it's a mix between the normal and the instant, basically, and allows you to still see the reticle and have the precision with the aiming, but also allow you to cast much faster than hitting the key twice. A lot of people like this, and I think it'll probably go over pretty well.
All right.
It allows you to be more accurate, especially with
things like grenade
things
kits,
like that.
Yeah, or the staff alley might actually use this quite a bit because you got a lot of ground targets to use. Let's see.
One other thing to talk about with Ellie's staff real quick, we made some other changes as well. We increased the auto attack healing basically to help the support of this skill. Basically it heals more for allies, has better healing scaling. We also increased the base radius of geyser a bit as well. Basically just trying to improve the support of the weapon overall, that with unstudied ground.
Waiting for geyser to come back up. I was a noob and I used it too early.
Oh man. What are we gonna do, Karl?
All right, there we go. So yeah, you're gonna have an increase on your water blast and on your geyser in an effort to help increase the support that the staff can actually provide. All right.
Well, one last thing, why don't we show them one with air before we move on to the next profession?
Yes. We have one with air. Now, while you're in combat, let's see here. Show you this trait a little bit. So one with air, 10 points in. We've redesigned this trait, and it's actually going to give you super speed when you attune to it. It's for a short duration. For everyone asking in chat, yes, I was using some dev powers to give myself low health. Watch.
Karl cheats all the time.
Again.
Can't trust him.
All right. So I can actually give myself conditions and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty cool. We're going to use that a little bit later. So one with air has changed to now actually grant you super speed on attunement. So you'll be able to move super fast when attuned.
Yeah.
And this will also couple with things like fresh air, so you can use it multiple times. Let's see. I was actually going to say another thing. We want to show off chilled stuff.
Let's wait a little bit. I think.
All right. One with air.
Show that later. But yeah, it basically gives Ellie more mobility. The trait was kind of broken anyways and wasn't working properly, so we thought this would give Ellie a nice little boost. It's not long, but it's a cool like in combat boost, basically to kite around or catch up to your target if you're playing like dagger or something like that. You do have to make trade-offs with damage traits.
All right, let's go on to the next profession. Bring us back out here.
Engineer next.
Where is that engineer? There he is. All right, here we go.
What do you want to show them first? I think we should show them the turret targeting improvements.
Yeah, I think
it's pretty cool.
So here we are. Let's go. Let's put your turret right here. Now, normally the turret would attack everything that you had tagged. It would attack the closest target,
and it would just stick on that target without changing.
Is going to start attacking your targets.
As you can see, as Karl is showing, as he switches targets, it still takes a second to adjust, but all turrets will adjust to whatever you're firing, as long as they can hit it within your range, so that they just more accurately burst down or focus whatever you want to focus. Just a nice quality of life thing, so that your turrets don't get stuck firing on something that you don't want them to.
My blunderbuss hit the heavy golem. It was like, it's got that one targeted.
Oh man.
All right.
Who's going for the kill?
All right, other things of note for the engineer. So we've shown off a lot of like the major features like trait facts and condition floater. So we're going to try to get through a few of the professions a little bit faster. As the Ellie took how much time? About 10 minutes.
Oh,
all right.
Very good.
Not bad.
Anyways, why don't we talk about the elixir changes?
The elixir changes. So let's see here. Elixir S, it's a lot less. Oh yeah, another thing with trait facts. We'll just go with this. All right, we're gonna see Tox Elixir S now grants stealth.
It's no longer RNG.
100% of the time.
Basically, we felt like the effects that you got from the Toss Elixir S and Toss Elixir B were basically just 2 RNG. You couldn't reliably use them for any situation because you get like stealth or stability, and they have different impacts on the fight. So we basically just made them each have one effect. Toss Elixir B is always stability now.
Check it out.
And Toss Elixir S is always stealth.
You're gonna have that stability whenever you need it.
Yeah, basically gives you a reliable version of stability and stealth to use whenever you want. Just a lot better. Some RNG sometimes can be good, but in this case, the effects were just way too different.
Elixir B does retain its. It grants a random boon in the area for all allies.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Is there anything else we have for the engine? Let me check my notes as well.
What about
Bomb Kit? Bomb Kit. Bombs have been normalized just a tad bit more. Oh, come on now. Get me out of combat. There we go. We'll go over to Bomb Kit.
Yeah. With the pass on trait facts, we did end up fixing lots of bugs, which I'm sure you guys will be happy about, and we ended up normalizing some of the skills to function with traits. And Bomb Kit actually got some buffs because of it.
So Bomb Kit actually attacks has a little bit bigger of a radius. It's now it's a 240 when you trade it with bigger explosives. Same with Fire Bomb.
Like the base bomb was increased from 120 to 180. Basically, 120 is just a super small radius. It's really hard to use and hit people with. So it just gives you a little bit more room so you can hit targets a lot easier.
On that note, there was some consistency. There are some consistency changes with Glue Bomb as well. So both Bomb and Fire Bomb were increased from to a 180 and 240, and then Glue Bomb was reduced from it had too large of a radius when you had it traded. So we reduced that just slightly. It's gone from a 360 down to a 300 radius.
Yeah. So one other question: if the turret targeting is optional, that's just a feature that change that we put in because we assume you always want your turrets attacking whatever you want, or you are currently attacking. So currently there's no UI option for that because it was just fixing problems where turrets would get stuck attacking a prop or like something random and it wasn't even what you were focusing anymore.
All right, let's get back in. Let's go to the next profession.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Guardian.
To answer the question, do bomb kits explode faster now? The answer is no, they do not.
Yeah, just the radiuses were slightly increased on some of them.
All right, going back into the game.
Yeah, we have some really cool changes with Guardian as well, which Karl is going to show you.
All right, so, oh man, which ones we got? Let's go with Focus Mind right now.
Focus Mind's a good
Focus
place
Mind.
to start.
So I got this actually a little bit pre-set up. It's pretty cool. Focus Mind, instead of granting, making meditation skills instant, which it only made 2 of them instant previously, now it's now all of your meditations are going to be instant, and Focus Mind is now going to grant you Fury on use.
Yeah, just to clarify, they're all instant base.
Yes. So your Smite condition, now instant.
Yeah, it just felt weird that we had a trait that made meditations instant, but half of them were instant already. So we figured, why not just make them all instant, because most of them play better when they are instant anyways. And we thought Fury could be a cool way to increase the offensive guardian a bit and help them out a bit.
All right, as for the rest of it, here we go. Hallowed Ground is now going to grant stability, but also increase boon duration for any boons received within that area.
Yeah.
So here we have you save yourselves. It has like around 6 seconds is natural. When you cast it, you can activate Hallowed Ground. You're gonna get that. You can activate for
Save
more
yourself.
seconds.
Yeah, you get about like 1 second because they're not super long duration.
Yeah, they're
boons.
it's not really a long duration, but
But it's just a cool, nice effect added to it because we thought
I'm gonna
Hallowed
cast this a couple
Ground
times
was
here.
lacking just a bit. It was kind of a long cooldown, had stability, but wasn't that much different than like a shout, basically.
In addition, let's see here. Purging Flames also received some changes. Where is that?
Yeah.
Oh, I've lost it. Point me to it, Roy. Where'd it go?
It's up right there, I think.
Hey, there we go.
There we go.
I get it confused because Smite condition's a little bit similar in the icon.
Yeah,
And
they do look pretty similar.
Purging Flames is now going to reduce condition duration.
Yeah.
Of all conditions reduced. In addition, it's also going to remove 3 conditions when you cast it. So right there, that's when you have 3 conditions removed, and as long as you're in this area, any incoming condition is going to be reduced by a certain percent.
Yeah. We thought it was a cool way to give that skill more utility.
I can't help it. I love Smite condition.
It is a cool skill.
All right.
Let's see
Do you
here.
want to go next?
Why don't we show them the chill stuff real quick?
All right. We can do that.
Yeah. So we made a change to visually represent chill to the player when you have recharges turned on with skills. Basically, how you see the numbers ticking down on his bar right now in white, when you're chilled, they'll appear in a tealish blue color to represent that your character is chilled and to show that your recharges are slowed. Basically, it'll allow you a glance at your bar to see that you have chill on you without having to look at your conditions.
So we're going to look down here. You get to see that time is actually being slowed
Yeah.
by 66%.
It'll show that for all skills currently on recharge when you are chilled.
I'm going to apply chill myself again.
With a change like that, we're basically just trying to bring up visibility, make it easier to play the game without having to stare at your like boons and conditions the entire time. Things like that. Just nice quality of life changes.
All right. So that's one. Let's go for the next one.
Sure. Let's go on to Mesmer.
I'm going to change I've got my cheat sheet right here. All right. Next one. We're going to go over to Mesmer. We're going to let me find my Mesmer. There he is. Oh, yeah, I made this guy earlier today.
You guys are about to see a huge Norn.
Okay. There we are. Well,
Change the screen.
It's okay. We got it. All right. So, Mantra of Resolve and Mantra of Concentration. Billy Mays here for Power Break. Sorry, that's not really true.
A little bit cheesy.
All right. So, Power Cleanse and Power Break both now apply in their effects in a radius. So you're going to see Power Cleanse is going to remove conditions in an area around you.
Yeah, it's basically a way to add support to mantras.
I guess I don't really have a very good visual way to show this today.
No. Well,
oh well, later.
This is just one of the many changes we're trying to do to increase support in the game. Basically, mantras were lacking a bit, and we thought having both of these be AoE for allies would be a cool way to give them more support through AoE ally Condi removal and AoE stability to possibly have them more of a support role if the player wants to go for that.
Yeah, the Norns. All right, so power break. That's cool. Bam. Awesome. Let's go over. Do I have a scepter? No, I don't have a scepter. I'm going to have a scepter.
Should grab one real quick.
I'm going to go grab one. Got anything you want to talk about in the meantime?
Sure. Let's
Uh-oh.
see here. Oh,
Showing some Halloween stuff.
another general change that we did that should, at least it's pretty good for PvP, was currently on live AoE skills skipped targets that were blocking. So for example, if you placed an AoE skill on a area where there's like 1 or 2 targets that were blocking or evading, they wouldn't count towards the 5 target cap for the AoE, and now they currently do. So in PvP, that'll basically lower the amount of AoE because it'll count them as a target and it won't skip them. So it won't just be like, oh, that target's blocking, I'm going to damage another target. So that basically just a good change to lower the amount of AoE damage in the game for PvP because it didn't really make sense to skip a blocking target anyways.
All right, so there are a couple changes for Mesmer. And we're kind of we're making changes slowly, and just to make sure that we don't incredibly overpower the thing. So this scepter is, right now, we've reduced its cooldowns of both the 2 and the 3 skill. So confusing images as a 12-second recharge, and illusionary counter is going to start off as a 10-second recharge base, and those can, I believe, be reduced with the trait.
Yeah. And with Scepter, we just wanted to take things kind of slow. We still think there could probably be some work done to it to improve it. We're still trying to figure out exactly what to do to make the best call, but we think this is a good start, increasing those to make it more of a reactive weapon with lower recharges to play around with. More confusion uptime and torment and all that. A little bit more defense because you're blocking more often.
All right. You want to go on to the next one or continue on here?
Sure. I think that's pretty good.
Health. The health. We
what?
want to talk about that here, or well, on to the next one, I guess. So we have something with pet health we want to talk about soon.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that when we talk about Ranger. I think that's a good spot.
All right. Let's just go to Ranger right now.
Oh, sure. That works too.
I'm going to skip it.
Karl getting excited and jumping ahead.
I'm excited about all of these, though.
Yeah, me too. We have a lot of cool changes going in.
All right, so one that we've talked about a little bit is Sic Em, and how Sic Em is now going to apply revealed to your target for a certain amount of time. This is a change mostly for World vs. World and PvP, although you will find some uses for it in PvE as well. Where at the moment you press Sic Em, your target will have revealed on them. So maybe you'll be able to catch that thief before they use their black powder Heartseeker combo, or maybe you will find a longbow ranger right before they hit their hunter shot.
Yeah, it's a 4-second revealed, basically something you have to use preemptively when you're gonna kill a target, since it doesn't reveal a target that's already in stealth. We thought it was a good place to place it because basically it made sense that the pet was tracking down the target and chasing it, that they just couldn't stealth for a short time.
You might try putting it in PvP. You might try putting it on downed enemies.
Yeah.
Who might have a chance to be shadow refuged.
Yeah, it's really good against downed enemies. It's really fun in World v. World.
All right, what is the next one? Companion's defense. Based on your feedback, Companion's defense has changed slightly. Let me actually equip it. Where is that one at? Did I actually? Where did it go? I think it's in
one of the passives. It's a minor trait.
Oh. I forget where it went. Sorry, guys.
There
it is. All right. Companion's defense now applies. Oh, I have to be in combat. I was like, did it break? Oh, no.
Hopefully not.
All right, now we're in combat. It'll apply protection to your pet when you first dodge roll, and then protection to you at the end of your dodge roll.
Yeah. The way it is on live, it applied protection to you basically at the start of the dodge roll, so a lot of the protection was wasted. But we did want to keep it on the pet at the start of the dodge roll so that you could actively add protection to your pet in case your pet was tanking. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah. I'm actually going to use the F2 of this juvenile Fernhound, who has had its ability changed slightly, and will now heal you.
Yeah.
When you use your F2 skill.
Yeah. We added a smaller AoE heal on top of it. We made a decent amount of changes to some pet on-use abilities, basically just to increase support like this one. It only applied regen before, which was a little bit lacking, so we added a smaller 1k AoE heal that can go up to 1350 with the pet healing trait equipped.
With that, let's talk about the pet health.
Yeah, sure. So you might know a little while back we made Mesmers in PvE have more health on their clones and phantasms, basically. It was a really good quality of life change and really helped them in PvE, we think. And basically we just took this system and applied it to all player minions in PvE. So all player minions will have about 71% more health in PvE, basically just to help survive hits, for example, from like bosses, PvE creatures, all the AoE. For example, Ranger Spirits in PvE would get nuked super fast, and now they'll actually have more health.
Actually given
Ranger pets, minion mancers, that sort of thing. Basically, it'll just make, if you want to play like a minion type build, a bit more viable in dungeons with hard-hitting creatures and things like that.
All right. Let's go on to the next one, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Want to go Necro?
Yeah, let's go Necro. Jumped the gun a little bit, but I feel like the Mesmer and the Ranger are kind of in the same boat. It was like they need a little bit more health with their pets and all that. Oh yeah, speaking of pets. I'm gonna give this one a try. I have something I wanted to show, but like it's a little bit hard to set up. Some changes with the Necromancer. I should just fill my bar up here.
What happened to your life force bar, Karl?
My life force bar has changed slightly. So now you're actually going to see how much health you have with your life force, and as it depletes, it'll go down. You'll see your health just kind of drop. If you want the percentage, it's still on your the UI.
Yeah,
hover over it.
Over.
Oops, that's not the right one. There we go.
Basically, it just gives you an accurate representation of how much health you have when you go into it, so you're not kind of guessing. There's actually a bug with it as well, where part of the life force bar was hidden behind the enter Death Shroud button. So now you'll actually be able to see the entire bar, and it won't be hidden as well, plus the numbers, and it's just a bunch of overall improvements so that you know exactly how much life force you have when you enter it, and how much you'll actually be able to tank.
All right, and we're going to try this here. We made some changes to transfusion, so your F4 will now start healing your allies more.
Yeah, that's through the trait.
And then when you exit, yes. And then when you exit, you'll have that smaller heal. So the changes I'm actually showing right now are Deathly Invigoration and Transfusion. Deathly Invigoration says heal the area when you leave Death Shroud. And then, so you have a small area effect heal. And then your life transfer actually heals your allies around you.
Yeah, this is just another one of the ways basically that we were increasing support. We thought it was a cool way if you want to go like a supporty healing power Necro, that you can actually like have some decent heals to support your allies.
Here we go, let's do it one more time. Heal, 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 heal.
Yeah, healing all.
And since the Necromancer cannot actually be healed by transfusion, we're all right. It's cool that it actually allows a little bit.
Yeah, it's more supporting because you actually don't heal yourself, you just heal allies around you.
All right, guys, go away. Thanks. All right, what was next?
You want to talk about the vampiric changes?
Vampiric. So, bloodlust, bloodthirst?
Yeah, bloodthirst.
Bloodthirst has been changed slightly. It has been reduced to a 20% increase. However, that has allowed us to increase the base lifesteal of a lot of many different abilities and traits to quite a bit. So we didn't necessarily reduce the amount of lifesteal that you could attain with Bloodthirst, but we did increase the base to about 80% of what Bloodthirst actually is.
Yeah.
With that said, we also have is Vampiric Master. There was a change with Vampiric Master where it actually didn't actually deal damage to the enemies when it siphoned. So now it's going to deal damage to the enemies that it siphons from, though the overall siphoning effect from this has been reduced by about 16% at the base level.
Yeah. I'd like to take a second just to remind you guys as well that we're definitely not showing you everything. There's a lot of stuff you'll have to wait.
There's a lot of stuff
for tomorrow to see. We're just kind of going over like higher level, some of the cool things you might find interesting. There's a whole lot more that you guys will see tomorrow on the actual patch notes.
Yeah. What else do we want to talk? Anything else? With this one? Yeah, we got through everything with Necro that we.
Yeah, all the vampiric stuff is pretty good. 1 second. You want to talk about the stun breakers? Real quick?
No.
Not yet?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, I think people will like that.
Let's get this guy to use a launch on me. So, let's see here. How do we explain this? When you are launched or blown out now, your stun breakers will return you to a normal state.
Yeah.
Okay, that one works.
Yeah, before when you used a stun breaker, when you were launched or blown out, basically it just wouldn't work. And we basically made it so that you can actually break out of these now.
So I'm going to use a launch on myself, and then I'm going to break out of it.
Yeah, so as you see, like as soon as you use a stun breaker, it ends the launch or blowback and breaks out immediately. So if you're fighting, for example, on a point in like Conquest and PvP, and someone like knocks you back, like blows you back, you can basically break out of it immediately to stay out of the point if you use a stun breaker.
Thief was next, right?
Yeah. Thief has some cool changes.
Yeah. All right.
One other thing for Guardian that we did miss, that we probably should talk about is the change to Sigil of Mercy. Before it was a little bit clunky.
Awkward.
Yeah, basically.
All of the above.
Yeah. We basically changed it to be a ground target res, so that basically instead of resing a random target in a radius around you, you can actually select with a ground target basically who you want to res, and it'll res that person. We actually made a similar change to Glyph of Renewal as well for Elementalist, just to have more control over who you res instead of just having it be a random person around you.
So with the Thief, we want to talk about some upcoming changes. Let's talk about Immobilize first. So let's go use the Devour Venom. As you can see, you got some nice cool effects going on here with our Venoms. I've got it fully traded out.
All the trait facts.
Yeah, so you can see that we have Leeching Venoms here. We have Residual Venoms. We have, what else do we have? We have Quick Venoms. And then we have Venomous Aura.
Oh. What changed with Venomous Aura?
Venomous Aura has actually been increased from a 240 to a 360 radius.
Yeah. Basically, it was a little bit hard to use, so we just wanted to help out support a bit, being able to apply Venoms to a wider radius to allies, so you don't have to be as close to the Thief, basically.
And the Venom spec is pretty hard. Is kind of hard to maintain. However, so here's one change that we want to talk about. We want to talk about Immobilize. It does no longer ever replace. It no longer replaces itself. Instead, now it stacks in duration. So what you're going to see is that if I apply Immobilize and then Immobilize again, it's going to stack in the duration.
Yeah. Still, if you use a Conjure removal, just clear the whole stack.
It'll clear the entire thing.
We made a change a while back like this to stealth, and basically it just feels really bad to play and having like smaller Immobilizes override longer ones and replacing them, and just leads to a lot of awkward gameplay. And this way it's more consistent with other duration stacking traits, and we feel like it's a pretty good change overall. It'll have some impacts on balance, but Conjure removal still removes the whole stack, so it
You
shouldn't
need
be that
to
bad.
get some of that contingent removal going. All right, now for the next change on the Thief. Your main hand pistol is going to see a change now. You're actually going to find out that it immobilizes on the skill 2 for a cost of 4 initiative.
Yeah.
It's a low duration, does low damage, but also it'll keep your target pinned for a little while.
Yeah, you basically have to spend your initiative to stay at range from the target, or if you're in a team fight, you can play the role of keeping the guy still while you spike him down. We felt like pistol was just really lacking a way to get away from the target, and we didn't want to add another like disengage type ability because the Thief had a bunch of those already. And basically this gives them a unique support role to be able to pin down a target.
I'm going to support myself now.
Oh man, you're going to support your minions. That AI.
Yeah. That's only, I have to use everything in order to do that. Last thing.
Another cool change that we did for Thief was withdraw and roll for initiative. They were kind of buggy with immobilize. Basically, you would like roll in place if you use these instead of removing them properly. And now they'll actually remove them before you roll backwards, so that you actually can get the distance that you want. Before it just felt really bad that you just evade in place with these skills and not remove it at the beginning. Karl is about to show you, I believe.
I'm going to try. All right, so I'm going to immobilize. It'll actually remove the immobilize for you.
Yeah, then roll backwards.
Let's see here. Other things, cool thing like blinding powder now has a blast finisher on it. It's just a small buff that we wanted to give it. What's the next thing? Do we want to talk about anything more with the Thief?
I think that's
pretty
about
good. It for now. Oh, did I not turn on the new condition floaters again? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Why don't you show that off with the poison on the
thing that
AoE
we're trying to
golems?
like show off is I'm so silly.
You should go over to the mass golems to show them what it looks like with a bunch of targets.
All right, let's do that.
It's pretty cool.
Let's go over there.
So you can see all the numbers.
So this is what it's going to look like nowadays.
Yeah, so you can actually see the poison and bleeding. It's just easier to read since all the bleeding is condensed into one tick per target that you hit, so that you don't have a million numbers flying up and you can easily see where the damage is coming from that you're doing.
All right, now we can go on to the next one.
Yeah. Off to Warrior.
Oh, good, it's the last one on my list. Here we go, back in the heart of the mists. We're only here because it's super easy for us to show you all the different stuff, like on the golems.
Yeah.
All right. First thing to note: lung capacity, and you just shake. You made it shake it off.
Yeah.
Lung capacity and empower allies have switched positions.
Basically, one of the reasons for that was that lung capacity, the recharge trait for shouts, it was in the same spot where you would take Shrug It Off, which is also a trait that you'd want to take as a shout build, and we felt that it was awkward that you couldn't take both of these, and it was kind of holding the shout build back, so that we changed empowered allies and lung capacity, basically swapping places, so that you can have Shake It Off plus lung capacity, and then actually have a good support shout build, basically increasing support, like common theme for this release. And it's also nice because it works with the shouts heal trait, so you get that extra shouts heal from the Shrug It Off trait and the shorter recharges, basically giving the World v World PvE support build, and maybe even see shout support be a thing in PvP now.
Yes.
That being said, we also increased Vigorous Shouts, the Shouts healing trait, to be a bit more effective. We increased the base heal by about 25% and slightly increased the scaling a bit as well.
Right.
Just because we felt it was a little bit low supporting your team, and it just needed a little bit of help. So, we have a pretty big change that mostly affects Warrior, but is kind of a global change. Sigil of Paralyzation was bugged, and basically it would always round up. So if you had a stun that was of 1 second, instead of adding 15%, it would bring it to a 2-second stun. And we've fixed this so it actually interacts with itself properly, so it actually only adds 15%. So it's going to reduce some of the stun locking that you're seeing in PvP right now. It's a pretty big change, but it needed to happen because it was just a bug. But yeah, it'll impact balance a bit. You won't see as many ridiculous stuns. For example, Earthshaker won't be a 3-second stun. It'll be just like 2.3.
Yeah, it'll be your normal stun. Do you want to show this next one?
Yeah, sure. Show them Staggering Blow.
So there has been a slight change to the hammer, and that you can now move while using Staggering Blow.
Yeah. Basically, Staggering Blow was always a clunky skill that we always thought was kind of weird, so it was mainly a quality of life change. The character slowed down a tiny bit when he spins, but basically allows you to get off better positioning.
All right, that was all I got for that one. Sorry. Just really love spinning around.
Yeah, it's a fun skill to use. And Warriors are something we're definitely paying close attention to, especially in PvP. We realize they're a bit strong. We want to see the impact of the Sigil of Paralyzed change and go from there. And we'll see in the future what changes we make. We just don't want to do anything too drastic, too fast, like we might have done in the past.
All right. Did you say that about covers it? Let me check my notes one more time. One more time.
It's possible we could.
You take a question or two if you guys have any. There, I'm actually have chat up right here.
Another cool quality of life thing for PvP that we actually changed, mostly for PvP, kind of PvE thing as well. Tab targeting now prioritizes players over NPCs, but Mesmer clones are considered players, so don't worry about that. Mesmer is like, they won't be able to bypass your clones just because of that. But for everything else, you can tab through, for example, if you see a ranger with a bunch of spirits and you hit tab for the first time, you'll tab to the ranger automatically instead of tabbing through spirits. It basically allows you to actually select the people you want to without having to cycle through all the minions. And like I said, just to be clear, Mesmer clones aren't affected by this, so you still have to tab through those, so there's still the deception of the Mesmer.
Yeah. I don't have any other notes for right now. Let's see, we have any questions we'd like to see?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to take a few.
Will throw them out for us, and we'll see.
But that is pretty much most of it. We want to keep some of the things still hidden for you guys to find out tomorrow.
Yeah, there's still a few more changes we haven't talked about.
Just a few. As Karl shows off the condition floaters some more.
I'm going to just do that.
I mean, they are pretty cool. Also, you guys don't forget to follow our channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and like our Guild Wars 2 Facebook page as well. If you're not, where are you gonna show off?
I'm just gonna go back to the Necro, and so I can try to show off these condition floaters just a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
While we're getting some questions out here. Let's see. Oh, we got staff. Yeah, that'll work. Let's go over and get some Doomfire going.
Should Consignative Spite as well.
Yeah. And then probably precision.
Doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter.
Just crit line.
Just need to get crit. Signet of Spite. There it is.
Yep.
And then I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now let's go Epidemic. Can Sic Em be dodged is a question. That's a great question. The answer is it cannot be dodged. Yeah, got lots of that burning stuff going. Well, not burning.
Yeah.
But condition floaters.
Get to see all those pretty numbers.
And Terror actually has its own unique floater as well.
Yeah, so you can see
Probably
the
put that one on there too.
damage that Terror does as well.
One moment.
Which Karl will show you.
Terror, there we go.
Yeah. Because it causes fear to do damage, we felt like it's appropriate to display it so you know when you're taking damage from that.
Yeah, 586. Oh,
Yeah.
there's only one.
Well, it's a short duration fear.
Yeah, 586. But you know when you get hit by it.
Yeah, so basically you know the incoming and outgoing conditions affecting you and your targets more clearly.
All right.
That's about it.
I think that's about it. We can call it right here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We have a live stream going on. A live stream going on every week. Usually on the Friday.
Yeah, around
we
noon
did
or
answer
so.
that one. So don't miss out. We'll actually do we know what's going on this Friday? Do you want to? Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll announce it on the Facebook
We'll
page
announce
for
what it
what's
is on
going
the
on
Facebook page.
Friday. Please follow our channel and like the Facebook page to see basically what's coming up next for our next live streams and find out more information about the game.
All right, guys. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks for
Have a good
watching.
one.